There are other ways to feel. My voice may sound a bit off today because I've unfortunately got a bit of a flu, but it's neither here nor there. I know it will go away soon because I caught it early and started attacking it with medicine and supplements early, thank God. So, today we're talking about there are other ways to feel. The way you are feeling right now is not the end all be all of all the feelings in the world. And as someone who used to be depressed, but I made a conscious decision to be no longer depressed. And as somebody who used to be that way, I used to think there was no other way to feel. I thought that was the only way I would be feeling for the rest of my life. Always sad, always on the verge of tears, always feeling not enough, always feeling like I was experiencing my own end of the world inside my own soul, you know? Turns out it was just a dark night of the soul, and as people who are always growing and always metamorphosing, is that how to even say it? Somebody who's always metamorphosing and transforming into bigger and better. Dark nights of the soul are a common experience. It's a common thing at this point. Like brushing teeth is common to people, or drinking water is. Dark nights of the soul are very common for souls that are always evolving. And there are other ways to feel. The way you're feeling right now, no matter how down in the dumps you may be, maybe you're thinking, will I really feel different after I lose this 20 kg? Or will I really feel different after the 6 months have passed and my dear one is 6 feet under after those 6 months? Will I feel any better? Is there anything better after this? And the answer is, as long as you're alive, as long as you are striving to be better, as long as you don't give up on yourself, there are other ways to feel. And I'll be a bit quantum physicist with this one, because I'm really interested in quantum physics and the whole manifestation area. And so the way you feel has to do with your heart posture, or the way your heart is, or how in tune your heart is with your soul. And that is where I'll bring in a bit of psychology, because I did study psychology. In fact, I was studying psychology, and I study psychology, and cognitive dissonance is a thing. The more you feel like you should be at a certain position or a certain area in your life, and the more you look at that area and find that it's so much different from where you currently are, you have a bit of cognitive dissonance. Like, let's say you want to give up binge eating, and you already see yourself as this healthy weight person who doesn't always reach for cookies at the first sign of stress, but you're still that person. But in your head, you're already thinking, oh, I'm not that person anymore. That disjointment, that gap creates cognitive dissonance. It creates a feeling of, I should be there, why am I not there? And you start blaming yourself, and you start being depressed, and you start going through all the stages of grief, basically. And nothing throws off your nervous system, honestly, in my opinion, like cognitive dissonance does. You know something is not good for you, and you know you want more out of life, yet you keep coming through the same cycles over and over and over again. In your head, you know better, but your choices aren't reflecting that. And this is where you need to sit down with yourself and ask yourself lots of questions and really work on yourself. This is not the time to go partying, to surround yourself with people who are noisy and don't know what life is about and don't take their life seriously. No, this is the time to sit down, watch some self-help videos, read some self-help books, meditate, go inwards, really learn about yourself and why these cycles keep happening. And if you listen to my Find the Root Problem video, you will know that if you don't find the root cause of why stuff keeps happening in your life, you'll be doomed to repeat those things over and over again, like some bad horror movie that's carrying on for more seasons than it really should be carrying on for. So you need to be, you need to be cognizant of the fact that there are other ways to feel. This place that you're in right now is not the end all be all. And this semester, honestly, I've been feeling like I've been called to really configure my nervous system, because I'm a person who gets anxious, especially when I'm gonna go into a public setting and I start sweating and I start being all self-conscious and my heart starts going haywire and my thoughts start running around like a cornered Jerry in Tom and Jerry, you know? And I was like, no, there must be other ways to feel. How do people who look so unbothered when they're in public feel? Are they just faking it? But not all of them can be faking it, right? So I started digging deeper. I'm like, what are the things that really make my rate go up? What are the things that really make my anxiety and my mind start overthinking out of nowhere? And I was talking to ChatGPT and it's like, your nervous system needs regulating, and even the over sweating and over everything will really go down if you know how to do that. And I'm like, okay, I'm interested. Like, what are stuff I can start doing now? Because I'm the type of person, if I find a problem, I want to also start coming up with solutions ASAP. I don't want to just be, okay, there's a problem. 10 years later, I'm still saying, okay, there's a problem. No. As soon as I find out the problem, I want to find out, okay, what's the solution? How can we get rid of this problem? How can we eradicate it? And if we can't eradicate it, how do we make it better? ASAP, you know? Because I ain't young forever. I want to use all my energy while I'm young to root out all the problems that might become a lifelong problem if I don't start rooting them out now. And nervous system regulation seems like it could be a lifetime problem if I don't start regulating it now, honestly. So I was like, let's do this. And so far it has been like 2 months or 3 months since we resumed, and I've been working on my nervous system for like 2 months now. And this past week, honestly, I was on top of my sleep. I was on top of my everything, my schedule, my sleep. Even though I felt sick, I was still trying to be on top of my sleep. And it was so wonderful because I was like, interesting. So I can wake up feeling like this, like everything became funnier, lighter, and I was actually patting myself on the back because for me, sleep is really so hard to make a schedule out of, because you might trick yourself into like thinking, okay, this is 9, I'm in bed by 9, I did all the stuff I'm supposed to do, and then the sleep never comes. Like, your turn never comes. Like, it's just evading you, like you're an unwanted passenger on the voyage called sleep. Like, how, you know? You can do all the necessary steps, but you can't really force your body to sleep. That's the thing. It's like weight loss. You can eat all the good things, do all the things, lower your cortisol and everything, but your body still decides, should I lose weight or not? You know, kind of thing. So I was just like, I really need to get my sleep in order. And this past week, thank God, it has worked, maybe because of the sickness too. My body needs more rest, so it really worked in my favor. And I woke up and I felt just like my heart was so much calmer. I was so much more on top of how I felt about things. And when my mind wanted to spiral, I was just so much more in control of what direction it wanted to pull me into. I would be like, calm down, kitty, calm down. Because I kind of view my mind as this black cat that easily gets frustrated, but it's also very powerful and can be a powerful Black Panther when needed. And that's how I don't get really swept into ego and stuff like that, because I'm like, okay, this isn't me that's frustrated, this is my cat. My cat feels like somebody rubbed its fur the wrong way, so it's bristling now or something like that. I take it outside of me so it doesn't become you're a bad person. It's more like, why did my cat react this way, and how do I prevent it from reacting that way in the future, you know? So there are other ways to feel. And this week it really proved to me that, and even after meditation, like, you feel like there are other ways to feel. No matter how depressed I was, after I meditated like really well successfully for like a week or two, I would start feeling differently. My heart would be lighter, my soul would feel it had more of it was coming back into alignment, you know? The way you're feeling isn't the end all be all. No matter what you're going through, there's always a different way to feel. There are other ways to feel. And think of feelings as like doors, right? You're currently entering one door, but there are other doors. You just have to find your way back to where the place is where you entered that first door and find the other doors. Doesn't mean the other doors don't exist. You're just so lost in this door that you picked that you forgot that there's a whole way out there full of other doors that you could have walked through. And you have to get out of the problem. You have to really come out of the, what do you call it? The internalized issues, you know? Because when a problem becomes so big that it consumes you, your life and everything, you have to reduce it to the size that it really is and give it up to God, and then come back to that hallway of doors and find there are other ways to feel. Like, you can enter the world through other doors, through the door of happiness, through the door of peace, through the door of gratitude, you know? So anyways, hope I made sense, because I was really interested in this topic and it just came to me today, and I'm like, I could talk about this. There are other ways to feel. And feelings aren't permanent. That's just the sad truth. Or it could be a blessing too, because for people who are depressed, that's definitely good news. So there are other ways to feel. Don't give up. Always trust in God and keep praying, keep meditating, keep finding solutions, and never be consumed by the problem, because God is bigger than it. Peace out.